Hi, welcome to Pandora Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Scorpio for the month of July 2015. Please remember to check your rising sign and your moon sign because that will give you more information on the energies that you're going to be dealing with in the month of July. But let's start, Scorpio, with your reading. You have in the challenge position the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card that talks about rest, about mental rest and physical rest as well. We can see the figure here actually laid down. The Swords is the air element, so it's the mental element. And it's not just, it's a card that invokes meditation. It's a card that also talks about silencing our mental chatter to be able to listen to ourselves. It's a meditative type of rest. It's not just any kind of going to sleep because you're tired. It's just that there's I believe in the previous months, Scorpio, perhaps you have been starting to feel tired mentally. I don't know if you know what I mean. It's kind of like when you're listening to everyone else, if you have a type of job where you have to take orders or you have to deal with customers or that type of thing that just it exhausts you and it really challenges you and makes you feel tired on a mental state. Okay, and this is a card that talks about resting, not just physically. Okay, and I believe this is something you have been starting to do starting previous the month of July, because there's a decision that you have to make and there's an ending that is coming. Why do I say this? Because you have the Six of Swords, another sword card, in the center of your reading. This is a card that talks about moving on, about moving away to be able to find better possibilities, because this card talks about, the story of this card is a family that is moving away, trying to get to this land over here because they're hoping for a better life for their families. And it's a card that has a bit of sadness to it. So it is the element of swords. It's a mental thing. It's a logical decision that you're making, but there is an emotional attachment to it. You know that you're leaving the familiar behind, but you are doing so because you are searching for something better for yourself, Scorpio. And this will, it's the center of your reading, so it will really dominate your month. Now, the great thing is that you have in the position of the help that you're going to receive the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a card of mental stability, spiritual connection, emotional fulfillment. So this decision will allow you, this decision that you're making of moving on, moving away. It can even mean for those of you that are trying to actually move, go to a different country and stay there, or move to a different home, that type of thing. Moving on to a different job, that's another thing. Moving on from a relationship. But the thing is that you will be very stable, okay? Emotionally stable. You will be satisfied with the decision that you make. And I believe this stability, this emotion stability, has to do with this rest here in the Four of Swords. So treat yourself kindly this month, Scorpio. This is a month where you need to nurture yourself and be patient with yourself, because this is an important thing that you're doing, this moving away or moving on from a situation. Okay, now this goes here. Okay, now in the position of the things you cannot change, you have to accept, there's another great card. You have the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card that talks about perspective, having perspective. I always say that this woman is very wealthy. She has a lot of abundance. behind her, but she's focusing on the falcon here. And the falcon is the symbol of being able to fly up high and have a panoramic view of everything, being able to look at the entire picture. So what the tarot here is saying is you will be able to look at everything and make a decision. And again, I believe this capacity that you will have to make an informed and an educated decision has to do with this work, with this the Four of Swords. Okay, but you know, it's a great thing that you have good cards all around you, all around this decision. Okay, so it's not as traumatic. Yes. Now the good thing is that I believe whatever decision you actually make will pay off. This moving on allows you for a new start, because you have as the outcome card the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a new creative endeavor. So again, this thing for those of you who are thinking about leaving, say, a present job, it's a new way, a new path, a new way of doing things. It's, you know, the aces are always a new step in a new direction, and you have two, you know, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So this decision of this travel, this distance that you put between your current situation and moving on to better things will actually pay off, Scorpio. So it's a good month to really connect with your intuition and rest and treat yourself kindly to be able to, you know, again, not make this experience traumatic. Okay, but again, just to, you know, leave on a happy, not happy, but positive note, it pays off. This thing that it seems like a sacrifice, eventually you will realize it was actually an investment. Okay, so I hope this is helpful, and I want to thank everyone who watches and likes and comments my videos. And Scorpio, I will see you next month.